Welcome to Vehicle Service Pro's Industry Insights. I'm Erica Scholes, Managing Editor for P10 Magazine and VehicleServicePros.com. The Alliance of Automobile Manufacturers, the Association of Global Automakers, the Automotive Aftermarket Industry Association, and the Coalition for Automotive Repair Equality recently announced a national agreement based on the Massachusetts Right to Repair law. The signed Memorandum of Understanding, or M.O.U., extends nationally the essential provisions of the Massachusetts Right to Repair law. This national agreement ensures the organizations will stand down in their fight on right to repair and work collectively to actively oppose individual state legislation while working to implement the M.O.U. nationwide. This M.O.U. is intended to ensure vehicle owners will have competitive and quality choices in their repairs while strengthening the auto repair industry nationwide. It's also meant to ensure that independent repair facilities across the U.S. would have the same access to information, tools, and software needed to service late-model computer-controlled vehicles, as required under the current Massachusetts Right to Repair law. We're here today with Aaron Lowe, Vice President of Government Affairs at the AAIA. Aaron, what will this agreement accomplish?
The MOU ensures that the requirements enacted as part of the Right to Repair legislation in Massachusetts are implemented on a nationwide basis. Specifically, car companies must make all of the information, tools, and software affordably available to the independent repair industry. The MOU should also ensure that car companies make scan tool information available to companies that supply tools to the independent repair industry.
How does this agreement specifically require car makers to make their aftermarket repair information, tools, and software available to the independent aftermarket?
If they are making everything available to the independent aftermarket, then they will be in compliance with the MOU up until model year 2018, which is really 2017. After that date, car companies will need to have all of their software maintained in the cloud that will be downloadable to a generic PC. A shop will have the ability to pull down the information and software that they need for that vehicle on a daily, monthly, or yearly subscription. The PC must further be able to communicate with the vehicle using a standardized interface meeting SAE J2534 or ISO 22900 standards.
So, they must make the repair information available to independent shops in an internet cloud. That sounds like a very specific requested course of action on the part of the car makers. But this is an agreement, not a law. How would a repair shop take action against a car company that fails to comply with the agreement?
The shop will first need to take their complaint directly to the car companies, who would have 30 days to respond. They could use NASTA for this part of the process or communicate directly with the car company. If the shop still was not satisfied with the response they get, then they could bring their complaint to a dispute resolution panel established under the MOU, and that would be comprised of 2 independent aftermarket representatives, 2 car company representatives, and 1 independent individual. The DRP would attempt to mediate the dispute, and if that is not possible, would rule on the complaint based on the terms of the MOU.
You mentioned NASTA. For those viewers not familiar with NASTA, it's the National Automotive Service Task Force, an organization supported by car manufacturers who want to improve the repair capabilities of independent repair shops. This is a logical resource for repair shops who want to resolve repair information issues with car makers. In addition to NASTA, this new agreement establishes yet another resource, a dispute resolution panel that will attempt to mediate disputes. This all sounds good so far, Aaron, but what will AAIA do if it appears that car makers are not in compliance with the agreement by 2018?
We have no reason to believe that they wouldn't, but if the car companies did not comply with the terms of the MOU, then AAI would likely pursue either federal or state right to repair legislation.
Aaron, why did the AAIA pursue this agreement as opposed to continuing its fight for right to repair legislation?
A state-by-state effort would have been very time-consuming and expensive for both the car companies and the aftermarket. More importantly, now that the legislation is being achieved in Massachusetts, the car companies believe that it is in their best interest to comply on a national basis due to the fact that they don't want a patchwork of right to repair laws, and because it would be more cost-effective for them to implement a new system for service information and repair software availability on a nationwide basis rather than just in Massachusetts.
Under this Memorandum of Understanding, car makers have agreed to immediately make available to consumers and the independent vehicle repair industry on fair and reasonable terms the same tools, software, and repair information they make available to their franchised dealers. That sounds like there are some specific requirements we can expect to see met by the car makers. Be sure to stay tuned to VehicleServicePros.com to see what impact this agreement has on the aftermarket. That's all the time we have this week. Thank you for tuning in to VSP News Industry Insights. I'm Erica Schulz. Until our next broadcast, keep up with this and other industry topics by visiting us online at VehicleServicePros.com.